Hi everyone, and welcome back to OpenTTD with me, Tommy P. This is episode 40 of my XIS Let's Play, so I thought what better way to celebrate that particular milestone than by transporting the rather pungent cargo of sulphur to our chemical plant. That's what we'll be focusing on today. However, before that, I have been extremely busy off camera and just wanted to run through a couple of little bits that I've been doing since the last episode. The first thing to note is all of the cargo stations on the vehicle chain that we've connected up so far. I have now added in all the eye candy pieces, and what I've also done is every single town that is connected to that particular cargo in the vehicle chain does now also have an inner city bus service as well. Obviously, as I mentioned several times before, one of the aims of this save is to get all of the towns connected up with some form of passenger service. So that's obviously helping to achieve that goal. In our train list here, again to mention, on our main line, I have now I have now upgraded all of our high-speed express service locomotives to this Alstom Pendolino vehicle. The running costs a little bit cheaper than I'm just trying to remember the name of it now, what we were using. Where were we? Yes, this BREL APT. Let's say the Pendolino is much lower running costs than that one, so that's obviously helped to increase profitability. And also, I'm in the middle of updating all of the sort of smaller stopping service locomotives over to this Electrostar, which obviously we've been using in some of the newer circular lines that we connected up at the back end of the Central Main Line passenger service expansion. One thing I once again desperately needed to do was a little bit of balancing, and initially that started off as a relatively small task, and it just grew into an absolute monster session. What I've had to do, and I'll reveal that to you now, is basically to add in a brand new train station into Wayward. So you'll recall on our Wayward circular line, which is now completely different, we had obviously the trains coming in here out of Wayward through Chompingbury Springs into Frondingworth, down into Penwell, Little Rimfinbury, and back up into Wayward. And obviously we also had express services coming from Suthill this way, and obviously a lot of express services coming up this way through Little Rimfinbury from down south, the likes of Sonningbury and Semfingly. And I desperately needed to add more trains to the circular line here, as well as to the express service, and Wayward Heights here just could not cope with the volume of trains after I balanced. So at that point I had a look at completely upgrading this station, and in the end I think I ended up going to 8 or 10 track here by taking out a little bit of Kent Town, but that still wasn't working just due to the volume of trains and the way that the junctions around here were working. So I went right the way back to the point that I'd finished balancing and had a real good think about how I could redo the circular line around Wayward, and in the end I decided that the best option was to go with a brand new station here, which is now connected up to Market Square and Wayward rather than Wayward Heights. So our Midland circular line now runs from Wayward Market Square, goes underneath Wayward Heights all the way underneath Kent Town here, and then comes down this way and into Little Rimpingbury. And for the keen-eyed amongst you, you will also notice that Little Rimpingbury has also been updated. Again, the additional passenger capacity trains that I put on to the circular line were not coping very well in Little Rimpingbury either. So the way I've kind of got round that, so this is the line that comes off from the central line. They now can only access these 4 platforms, so everything on the circular line can only go into these 4 platforms here. And you'll notice then that I've reconfigured the entrance and exit around Little Rimpingbury so that only the express services call into the bottom, I think it's 6 platforms here. This is obviously an absolute monster station now. So yeah, so our express services coming this way and into Little Rimpingbury, and then obviously down and out through the middle of Penwell and Little Rimpingbury here. One of the other things when I had a look at all the balancing that I had to redo as well was here at Pentborough. There are, very similar to Wayward Heights and Little Rimpingbury North, there are an awfully large amount of trains, as you can see, that call through this station. So again, the layout that I had just wasn't working, so I've had to end up adding in a lot of extra land here to improve the layout and also add a couple of extra platforms onto there. All of that work was very labour intensive and also time intensive. When you last left me, we were in 2030. The date now is the 13th of June 2045. So all of that balancing has caused a very large jump ahead in time, 15 years in fact. But the upshot of it is that we do now have lots of capacity still on all of these lines. The circular line, I probably don't want to add too much more onto that now, in all honesty, but certainly in terms of the express, as you can see here, this is just so much clearer around the entrance to Wayward Heights compared to what it is. Flintfield here has also benefited quite a lot by me removing the tracks that were here, and that's now joined right the way into Sloughing Way and Chomphonbury Springs, and Flintfield is actually now our third largest city on the whole map behind Padstow and Penwell here. Did have a few little disasters along the way, but as they were all off camera, you didn't get to see them, so no memorials again. Yes, I'm cutting back on our memorial budget as we approach the 2050s. So, a very large expansion. I hope you guys don't mind that I did all that off camera, but obviously this is an area of the map that we've obviously worked in for quite some time, and you know, didn't feel you guys would perhaps want to see that. So that's what I've done. Possibility here that I might actually add in a station into Kent Town as part of the circular line. Do now have a little bit of scope potentially to add a station in here at some point, so that might be something that I'll look at. And very quickly, the last thing around this area that I think I'll also have a look to do at some point is to probably add a tram service in now between Waywood, Flintfield and probably Penwell here, possibly Little Runthingbury as well. So lots going on there as the volume on this decides it's going to go absolutely nuts. There we go, much better. Yeah, so lots going on here. Very, very quickly as well, down at Semfingly, as part of the balancing, not only did I look at obviously the passenger train services, I've had a quick look at some of our airport and airline passenger services, and a lot of those needed some additional aircraft, which meant that here at Semfingly we've had to upgrade this to the largest available airports. The overall effect, I know I've been talking about operating profit and how that's been sort of petering down quite a bit, but you'll see here now that we are absolutely romping up, and we are in and around £3 million per quarter, just under profit. And you can see here now as well, in the last couple of years we're up at over £8 million a year profit, compared to I think just under 6 million when last you joined. So certainly been worth doing all that balancing. And yeah, last thing to mention, one thing that I have been getting really cheesed off with is UFOs, and I did go away and have a look at the settings for that, and this is the problem here. I've been clicking this button and that's actually for sound. The sound for disasters and accidents, and I thought that was disasters and accidents themselves. So boom, that's that one sorted. I've taken plane crashes out as well, because they were also just driving me nuts and just spending so much time. I think throughout that last 15-year period that I mentioned before, we must have had about 20 plane crashes. So yeah, that's them gone. So back to Sulphur, and things continue to go well here at the smelter. Obviously this is where our sulphur is being produced, and we need to take that up to our chemical plant, which is this one here. And obviously after the last episode we've got a fair amount of infrastructure in around, so it should be pretty easy to get a line back down into here. This is the line obviously going into the smelter. We'll need that we'll have to add into this junction, but not too messy at the moment around here. I think one other thing very quickly before I get cracking, obviously here around Timwood is just an absolute mess with lines going here, there and everywhere, and I think what I've decided I'm going to do here is to basically wait until the whole of the vehicle's cargo chain is completed. I think we'll just suffer it as it is throughout that whole period, and then once everything's done and I know exactly where all the lines need to be, I think we'll come back and have a look at optimizing all of these various junctions and offshoots that we've got. Yeah, that's the plan for those. So let's go up to our chemical plant here, and as usual we have something else in the vicinity that we need to be mindful of, which is this tyre plant here. So the chemical plant, as we discussed before, needs sulphur and then also salt and nitrates to produce. We will need both of these cargoes that the chemical plant produces, acid and chlorine. We'll have a quick check back on the vehicle chain spreadsheet that I'd set up, so we are going to need both of these. So as usual, I think we'll go with bottom set of tracks being our incoming line, and then we'll set up the top set of platforms to be our outbound. These, so sulphur, from what I remember, we'll go with a mineral unloader, I think, for here, and I'm going to bring this quite some way here just to avoid interfering with this sugar refinery. And then for the top one, which will be acid and chlorine, we'll go with these sort of oil facilities, as they are the nearest thing that I can think of that will go with them. So I'm not going to worry too much about the tracks on these ones for now, and initially I'm just going to make this a double platform track. No, mind the tyre plant. Okay, let's have a quick down. So we need it to go connect up here at Duffing Pool. See, ideally I'd probably want that to be an underwater tunnel, but that isn't going to work because of the tyre plant. So I wonder if we perhaps take a line out of here and bring it this way around and do an underwater tunnel here. You do need a length of 8 is the maximum, which is to there. So if we take out this little bit here of trimfing field, as usual, I'm here to annoy the neighbours. That'll need to go there, and then should be able to get it from here. So this has got to be 5. So just chop a little bit of dunding head out here, and then tunnel there. That might make it a little bit tight when we do need to go to 4-track here, but we'll worry about that at the time. Let's just have a that's coming in there. Wondering whether we just get another tunnel in here. Just bring that down a little bit there. Tunnel under there. Yes, I do love my tunnels, I have to say. And then if we just bring a line out. Just have a... Yeah, that's there. So if we get rid of this building here, we should actually be able to get a bridge in across here, which can then come down. This will never need to be double tracked, I don't think. Just bring that along to connect there. Bring that up. And then perhaps we'll just do that. Marvellous. That's that side connected in. And then for here, I think we'll we come across here using a bridge, and then that should, I think, yeah, should be able to bring that around, and then just extend this tunnel area out. That will need to go down a little, I think. Maybe not. Alright. Well, if we tunnel through there, that'll be fine. And get rid of you from there. And then just bring you up to here. Perfect. And I think this one will best be joining in. So we bring that out to there. A little bit of landscape gardening. Tunnel through to here, and then yeah, bring that straight down and down. Yeah, that will do for our connection here. Just check that's still got a best put a signal there as well. All the problems that we've had with signals around tunnels in the past. Ping you up and around, and pop you there, and pop you like that. Get a depot. That depot needs to go there. Yeah, I think that will work well here. Let's just track down. Okay, so these then come in onto this side, and then we will need a connection here. That's the easy one. And little path signal there. Oh, I'm at a. Why am I at a signal density of 4? Yes, because we. Obviously changed that around the smelter, didn't we, last time? So that should now be back to our usual 8s. Yeah, getting a lot of maglev vehicles now, obviously, as we go into the far future. I think I will end up using maglev at some point. I've kind of got it in my head that we'll have probably a corner-to-corner passenger train service using maglev, I think, at some point. Right, let me see how we can, whether just to make it easier, just use bridges. Yeah, I think we'll do that. If it will let me do what I hope it will do here. I think it will. Yes. Excellent. Yeah, I think another thing I've been thinking about, I do need to be less precious about using tunnels and start using bridges a little bit more, particularly around this area of the map where obviously it's very, very dense in terms of track volume. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Okay, so yeah, they can all come in, get round, and get onto this path here. Similarly, they can come down, get round, and down into here. Of course, thinking on, we will also need a waypoint here. But when we eventually have both of those platforms working, and for now I think we will just stick with 2-track. I did add some more zinc trains onto the line here. I think I've pretty much got it balanced there or thereabouts. It might just need one more train in there, but I don't want to go too mad with it. Just going to change this to zinc. Obviously this station obviously shares all of its train list with the bottom half of Chumpborough Valley as well. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8. We've got 9 zinc trains on at the moment. And I say I think that will be fine. Maybe add one more in, but I think we'll be okay for now to kind of add some sulphur trains in straight away. As always, let's go to our list here of vehicles. So 90 miles an hour on these ones, which is pretty good, as if I remember. Sulphur, I've actually just got all the I was looking at this before, just looking at every single cargo in the chain and what it delivers in terms of profit. So you can see sulphur here, it's not horrendous, doesn't fall off too much, but again, as with everything around here, the distance is pretty big. So the bogie tanker can actually take 2 tons more, but running costs are quite a bit more. So I think we'll go with this poly bulk. So that's at 90 miles an hour. Which means we'll be moving away from the power haul for this one, and going with the Brush Class 92, which can do 90 miles an hour. What do we like here? Production. This is falling off quite a bit here. Just checking there's not any problems anywhere. Again, when I was doing all the balancing and updating of Wayward, the number of UFO attacks that we had destroyed a fair amount of tracks. Had to do quite a bit of repair work around a lot of the network. So I'm just double checking I haven't missed something really obvious, which I don't appear to have done, which does make a change. No. Okay. Might just be that we're in an unfortunate time. Yeah, I haven't really got anything piling up here. Nothing massively piling up here either. Okay, not to worry. We'll I think initially we'll probably just get a couple of these sulphur trains on, see how they go. Might just go with train length 5 initially and see how they get on. Just get a couple of them on. What are you doing? You see, I keep just spotting very weird things like this. So that's meant to be going between here and here. Like, how has that got lost? See, these got lost last time. Ah, there we are. See? I told you I hadn't missed anything. Right. Yeah. Okay. So... yeah, that's obviously a zinc ore mine, and a very high production one as well, which probably explains why we've had a little bit less production at the smelter. So that will hopefully now work itself out. Let's just find our sulphur wagon here. Might just actually ping. Just get another one of those on. I think 3 should be fine. Where are you? Let's have a little look-see. See how you get on. All seems to be running fine. And now it's not. Why has it gone up that way? In fairness, I did actually... oh, did I not actually? No. That'll be why it's not going anywhere. I didn't give it any bloody orders, did I? Oh dear. Right, hopefully that will now resolve itself, and we'll get some sulphur going up to... yes, it'll find its way back. I'm sure. Yeah. Ooh. Once again, excruciatingly loud music. Yeah, I did try and change the music this time around, guys, just to do something a little bit different. But we might be back to some old English classics for the next episode. Right, fingers crossed this time. No. Okay, that's not worked either, and that should have worked this time. And I don't understand why it hasn't. What are you doing? Or rather, what have I done wrong? I wonder if I just pop another... if I pop another waypoint in here and then tell it to go to there, whether it'll find its way or not. Let's just oh dear, we have absolute pandemonium going on around here. Oh, this is all just ending in a disaster. Right, I shall have to go and have a look at that as well. Oh, it wouldn't be a Tommy P video without everything going wrong. Oh, I'm just going to ignore that. That's just depressing me. Right, let's try and find one of these sulphur trains as I desperately just ignore everything that's just going completely wrong. Where the hell are these going now? Right. So we have one here, and we have one here. Right. Right. Okay. Right, fingers crossed. This time round, it will go the right way. Yes. Please go up there. Please go up there. Yeah, how very bizarre that it wouldn't do that. I just don't know why the pathfinding didn't work that out. But not to worry, we've managed to resolve the issue. I think this has got... yeah, we've got the sulphur on. Right, so fingers crossed that's now all working. I'm off to sort out this absolute disaster that's unfolding here around Pentborough. So, thanks for joining me today, guys. Maybe you can catch me next time. This is Tommy P, signing off.